It's not the sort of thing you can keep under wraps, really, is
especially
it?
What are you talking
especially
about?
if it's. I was asking if he'd known anything about the script where Site B was like a secret. Like they had to find out about it through like satellite images that took pictures of it.
Oh God.
It's interesting actually. It's just how would they pull that off? Like how would 'cause what happens is like this is how it was always described to me is Peter Ludlow gets like this fax through on his machine, kind of like Grant gets the fax of the compy carcass in the book.
Yeah.
It's like the satellite image of Isla Sorna, and he's like he runs into John Hammond's bedroom when he's dying. He's like, "You've been keeping this a secret. We could have saved the company. Like, there's all these fucking dinosaurs on this island." And I don't know how
Yeah.
that would work. Like, how do you hide that?
Yeah, I don't think you can. Because, well, you technically.
Epstein did it with his island.
Epstein.
No, everyone
So
knew
got
about
little
that.
fucking little St. James.
The thing is, it wouldn't work because if there was dinosaurs on there, that means people do know about the island. So it just wouldn't work.
That's what I'm saying is well, it's interesting actually. If you had like like a dirty secret, Site B was like this undercover evil thing nobody knew about. I feel
Mm,
like you could have gotten away with it with fewer complaints in the Lost World because now people were like, this island comes out of nowhere. Because in the first movie, they show you the laboratory and everything.
Mm.
If it was like a secret and you weren't supposed to know, like this is where all the fucked up shit happens, that might be a bit more like interesting. Like this is a place that no one's supposed to see, like a
eh,
sweatshop or something.
I don't mind it as it stands in the film where he just tells Ian because Ian's just like, oh, okay. Because that means like the company knew about it and they were just working in secret there. It's like, it still
I don't
works.
mind it either, but I feel like fewer people would have complained if they made a big deal about it being like this place that no one's supposed to know about.
Mm.
Yeah, it probably would have lent more credence, wouldn't it?
Mm. Oh,
To
I
the
think
idea.
also in the story outline, that's where they actually the beginning of that movie is where they go back to Nublar and literally destroy the island.
Okay.
Like
Yeah,
they
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 got Rexy
there's
pinned to the
dudes.
ground. They got a gun to her head. She's crying, and then they're like, "See you later,
Oh, dude, they're
Rexy."
like they flamethrow the fuck out of the visitor center. Like they flamethrow like all these dinosaurs and shit.
They find Nedry half alive. He's like, "Help me!" and they just burn him as well. Oh, I've got
No, I
a.
never thought that was a good story idea for them to destroy their fucking assets. Like,
No.
no, don't. That's dumb.
Well, it
Yeah.
makes more sense in Crichton's book because they're like breeding and spreading around, and it's like, oh shit, this is like a
They
contagion. We
didn't,
need to
but they
help.
don't do it in the book. It's the government that comes in and does it. Like
How did the
they have to
government
sit
find
back.
out about it then in the book?
They already knew because the dinosaurs were already off the island. Remember, there was
But
investigations
what I
and shit
mean is
going on.
like, oh, I guess yeah, they were searching for it.
Yeah, because remember, that's what the compy bite on the mainland is what actually kicked off the. Okay, someone needs to go there
Hmm.
because this shit's getting weird.
Mm.
Yeah. I've got a trailer for Master and Commander on my DVD of this film.
Jesus. When was this film out, actually? Was it 98
No,
or 99?
2003.
2003.
Shit.
Yeah.
You quoting Michael Caine in Jaws 4 there? Oh shit!
Oh shit!
Okay, I can't skip the adverts for some reason. Go to menu. I go to straight to the menu. Yes, I can. Banging. Right, I'm gonna get this synced up and then we can go.
Have you ever read the drafts of the original Jurassic Park before it was?
No, I haven't actually sat down and read them.
Oh, you should check them out.
I know there's
Very
the crazy one with Michael Crichton's like plants that grow super quick.
Yeah, that one's pretty cool. That one's really cool.
You're not watching this,
I
are you,
want
Clayton? Are you
that.
gonna hang around with us while we watch it? Or are you just
Uh,
are you gonna join us? Come on, join us. Join us, Clayton.
yeah, I'm renting it right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, boy.
Um,
Watch this weird
You should
Avengers.
check those scripts out, dude. They're just like canon ideas because there's a lot of crazy shit in there.
I will do at some point.
The one by the writer from Hook is crazy because the dinosaurs are all like dying too soon. Like, there's this subplot where all the dinosaurs are actually juveniles.
Okay.
Billy Sattler finds out that Wu has been giving them like growth hormones that their bones like break and fracture as they get older because they're just growing too fast. Like they die so soon.
How do they account for like the T-Rex then in that? Then how does the T-Rex come out with like a Zimmer frame or something?
The what?
Does it come out with a giant Zimmer frame like can't hold its own weight?
I don't really go into it that much, but like T-Rex is gonna die. Like they're all gonna die. That the sick Triceratops scene is like, or maybe it was a Stegosaurus. Like it's dying. It's a really weird script.
I didn't even realize the guy did Hook did one.
As the girl, she wrote Hook, and then she wrote I think the second draft. She rewrote Crichton's draft, and she did like a completely different version.
Yeah, I will. One day I probably will go back and read them all. I'm just
That's the one where they keep saying like Nublar's the Garden of Eden, and like John Hammond is God. It's just it's fucking bizarre. You should check it out.
I will do. It's just at the moment too busy. As much as you probably won't believe me, because we're about to watch League of Extraordinary Gentlemen. This is my relaxing time. Watch some shit. Right, let me know when you gentlemen are ready. Ready to all click play.
Ready.
I'm ready to go.
You ready, Clayton? All right. 3, 2, 1. Extraordinary. There's a sigh of like, oh god, another one.
Maybe this one will be better than Anaconda.
Here's the thing, I don't remember much about this film aside from I looked at it when I was sorting out my that 20th Century Fox logo was kind of funny.
That was weird.
I looked at it and I was like, oh yeah, they did the Avengers years ago. Huh. And I was like, that's kind of interesting.
The movie reminds me of Van Helsing a lot.
It has the same aesthetic, doesn't it?
Yeah, I can see that.
And it also has text rising up like Anaconda did that we did a few minutes ago. This century is soon to end. The new age dawns.
What I didn't realise about this film was the guy that directed this, he also directed Blade.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember thinking that this film was quite good, but now that I know that he did Blade as well, it's like, actually, I think I prefer Blade over this.
Yeah.
Blade 2 is quite good.
Guillermo del Toro, right?
Yeah, Del Toro.
Yeah.
I remember I watched Blade 2, and then when that came to the fight scene with the guy who plays Cat from Red Dwarf and Blade, and they were all CGI, I was like, oh, this is bad.
Yeah. Blade 2 has some really good atmosphere, though. Like it feels like an evil movie.
These policemen coming out with this tank. Oi, mate, you got a license for that tank? And this guy get run over. It's like Austin Powers. Stop! Stop!
Jason Fleming, who was he in this?
He's Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde.
Oh God, yes, he was, wasn't he? That's right.
They're just hitting it with the truncheons, the tank.
Making loud noises outside of my tank. I'm mildly inconvenienced.
This is the thing. I go on.
Die Hard with a Vengeance.
Die Hard with a Vengeance.
Watch that. This whole bank thing, like that's what just reminded me of it.
Yeah, I want to do that. I'll do a commentary on that. Yeah, that's the thing about this film is I think Marvel basically modeled their entire series on this one movie. Yep.
Yeah, get them all in there together.
Well, this was like the first time. Well, not the first time, because there was movies in the past like Frankenstein meets the Wolfman and Godzilla and all that sort of stuff where they meet different monsters. But this was the one where the first Hollywood superhero mashup. I think, obviously, it wasn't a success.
Nobody cared.
Nobody cared, but then everyone cared. So now, if this film came out with the Marvel logo in front of it,
yeah, but
people would be eating
Marvel
this shit
fans
up.
like anything that have that fucking logo in front of it.
Yeah.
Wait, are these Nazis in 1899?
Yes.
What the fuck? I don't remember that.
Because like this, when I watched that Captain America First Avenger, that just reminded me of this with like the Red Skull and stuff. I was like, yeah, that's just League of Extraordinary Gentlemen. I was probably the only person.
Johnston did that film.
He did. It was like, I was like, I'm probably the only person to ever make that connection. What do you want? His eye looks
sure
cool.
All this get-up that they're wearing for military was not accurate
not.
for 1899.
It's like
Oh, God, it's
1918.
Yeah. I think they do answer it. Yeah, he's just rocket launching that load of Zeppelins.
It's like alternate history, isn't it?
Yeah.
They've got like Zeppelins and shit.
Yeah, exactly. So it's a cool opening.
Yeah.
Don't mess about, does it?
No, Germany attacked. Didn't it? Britain denies. Oh yeah, he changes the war, doesn't he? And we're into Kenya. We're gonna meet Alan Quatermain. Oh, that was the graphic novels done by Alan Moore, who I think he did Watchmen, didn't he?
Yep. Have you seen the movie Watchmen?
Yeah, yeah.
Do you
I
like it?
Yeah, I like it. It's not too bad.
You should check that one out.
There's this big debate, like which is the better ending, the comic book or the film. It's always going around.
I think Alan Moore also did V for Vendetta, but I could be wrong.
Yes, he did.
Yeah, he did. Yeah.
That's the thing. People remember V for Vendetta and they rave about Watchmen, but no one remembers League. This is the one everyone just forgot about.
They remember it. They just don't like it.
I don't know. I'm going to be honest. So far, I know we're like 2 minutes into the film. I don't know why.
This was a part of that time when people were getting tired of shit like this. Like it's.
They were already tired. One Spider-Man film was out, and they were like, "Yeah, we're fucking."
Yeah,
one
but
Spider-Man
remember
film,
they were
one
moving
X-Men.
towards more serious stuff, and this is like.
Well, this the thing is, this was the beginning of the superhero surge. Well, I wouldn't say resurgence, but I could do because there was like the Burton Batman and Donner Superman and stuff. But like when superhero films became the staple, this was part of that whole rejuvenation of that.
I never classed this.
Well, no, I'm not saying it was successful. I'm just saying it was part of that whole thing. Spider-Man, X-Men were coming out. This was 2003, and they were like,
yeah, but this is like Invisible Man and Captain Nemo and fucking these are like literary people from the 1800s.
Yeah, but this is a superhero movie. They just took really like obscure. Well, it's based on a graphic novel for one.
Sure, but most people will just say this is the movie with Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde, and Dracula. Whatever. Like they don't look at it.
It wasn't
like,
what the kids wanted at the time.
Oh no.
It's what this kid wanted.
This film to me is more for those that are into kind of like their low-ranking comics. Well, not low-ranking actually. I would say they're more niche comics, like Marvel's and every person's comic. Whereas the comic that this was based on it's kind of falls in that Watchmen crowd almost. It's
like Sean Carter or something.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Graphic novels.
Like Preacher and all that sort of stuff.
300, that would be another example of something like that.
Yeah.
Oh, I need subtitles, and I have no idea what the fuck they're saying.
And Conan. Oh, have you ever seen Conan the Destroyer?
Oh, which one's that one now?
It's the second one with Arnold. It's so bad.
Oh, is that the one with the mirror wizard?
God save the Queen.
It's the one with fucking Wilt Chamberlain, and it's the one that's rated PG that way.
I don't
There's
think I've
no-
seen that one.
Oh, it's so bad. It's fucking bad.
I didn't even. Was that the third one?
There's only two.
Wait, what?
There's Conan the
Oh.
Barbarian, the R-rated fucking porn slasher movie. And there's Conan the Destroyer, the kitty piece of shit.
Oh, it's the sequel. Okay, yeah.
It's bad.
Cool, he
dude.
just shot that old man. Just took him out. Cool, these like Indiana Jones guys come in.
There's Henry Jones Sr. right there.
Yeah, exactly. Get down, Junior. What?
Yeah.
Well, it's funny, yeah. It goes without saying that they got machine guns. Like Sean Connery's last film, aside from that voice acting role he did. And Stephen Norrington, the guy who directed this, also retired after this film.
Apparently, found it quite difficult to do, and I don't know if it was in terms of like the production side of it, or whether it was just the higher ups just forcing him to do stuff.
Maybe, yeah.
Outfits are like the fucking poachers from Ace Ventura 2.
Yeah. This is in that same mansion.
This is in the room.
Yeah. What a lovely room of death. Sean Connery just punched that guy, and you saw that his fist didn't even meet his face.
Yeah. Oh, God. How does someone fly in the air from like hitting them in the face with a bottle?
This is where he like impales him on the rhino horn. The British flag just falls on him. Rule Britannia. His gun's called Matilda.
Oh, Leon the Professional. There's a movie.
I've never seen it. Never seen that one.
It's all right.
Yeah, I've heard it's good. That CGI bullet.
Yeah. This reminds me of Exorcist prequel movie where it's in fucking Africa.
Has anyone ever said that before? You know what reminds me of Exorcist prequel movie? League of Extraordinary Gentlemen.
League of Extraordinary Gentlemen. You know what I'm talking about, though, right?
I have only seen the first Exorcist.
What did you just say?
I've only seen the first Exorcist.
You haven't seen Exorcist 3?
No.
Dude, what the fuck is wrong with you?
I'm a man of taste, Clayton. I like League of Extraordinary Gentlemen.
You need to check out Exorcist 3. Yeah. Oh, I'm gonna fix this problem of yours. You know what? Watch 2 before you watch 3, because that way you'll truly appreciate.
That's the one with James Earl Jones, right?
Second one is with James Earl Jones.
Yeah, the Heretic or whatever it's called.
Ever made.
Actually, it's funny you bring up Exorcist because there's this whole scene of him looking at his corpse or his grave here. It says Quartermain on it, and at the end of the film, it like alludes to cause he dies, doesn't he? And it alludes to him rising out of the grave again. So it's like he's already died once before. He's immortal.
That's right. This movie does end with like a sequel thing.
Yeah, Godzilla
Should
98.
make it right now.
We should make it.
Extraordinary Godzilla 2.
The League of Extraordinary Godzillas.
I haven't seen what anyone's seen what Sean Connery looks like in like a while. He an old man, like talk
God,
anymore.
he must be
like,
really old now.
Yeah, he's got to be super fucking old.
If this is 2003.
This is like 17 years ago.
Yeah, exactly. I'm getting old, Junior.
Cheeks are wobbling every time I talk.
It'd be really funny if, like, in his last days, he like has a really high pitched, squeaky voice instead. Like he doesn't know why. I don't know. For me, I don't know if it's just a taste thing, but I just like the idea of the time setting of this and the sort of alternative history this has compared to like the Marvel films. I'm not saying it's a better film. I'm just saying that
popcorn and candy shit. This has at least got a sense of artistry to it, lack of a better word.
Well, it's not like flashy. It's kind of I don't know. I like it though. Like all this, like the secret guild and all that sort of shit.
My superiors call me M because he's Moriarty, isn't he? He's Sherlock Holmes' nemesis.
I find it interesting that they use Moriarty as the villain, but you never see Sherlock Holmes in this.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, I was
think
thinking
that's cool.
the same thing.
I think if you have Sherlock Holmes in the film and then you've got the villain, it's too obvious who the villain is.
Yeah.
Whereas if they just have the villain, it's like...
It's Captain Nemo.
There he is. So this was the second DVD I ever bought.
Really?
And this is the one I'm watching right now. Yeah. The first DVD I ever got was, I got a PlayStation 2 for Christmas and it came with Spider-Man. Spider-Man 1. And I was like, cool, my first DVD. And that's all I'd watch on my PlayStation 2.
First DVD was AVP, and I think that's why it was fucking up when we were watching it last time. It was like...
That's what Sean
No,
Connery
wait, that was
looks
the
right
one
now.
from the box set. Sean Connery probably looks fucking terrible right now.
I know.
It doesn't look too bad.
That yellow jumper looks horrible on him.
I was talking about like right now.
Yeah, look in the chat. There's a picture of him.
Oh.
Just looks a bit more saggy.
Who's that girl with him? Is that like his wife?
That's his wife, yeah.
And he's up walking around.
I've seen another photo with him with a cane, so I don't know whether that's a slightly older photo or what, but I typed in Sean Connery 2020 and that's the first thing that came up. Here's the other one.
Here we go, we've got the introduction to the Invisible Man.
Oh yeah.
He's with Short Round there.
Oh dear.
Yeah, it's just I know obviously the comic book does it. Invisible Man effects are good in this. Him putting on that coat looks really good. So I guess, is the coat CGI? It must be.
No.
No, what was that motion capture?
That's not CG. They just gotta get. He's probably wearing like a green suit or a blue suit or something.
It works really well.
It's cool.
I like the idea of him using paste. Because he looks kind of like a China statue or like China doll or something.
Yeah.
Jet Li in The Mummy 3.
See, this is the thing. Like, how many films did Disney spend to get like the Avengers together in this film? What are we 15 minutes in, and we've got like pretty much all of them.
Sorry, because I'm just catching up to the CG bit with you guys. Right, yeah. So that's a real coat with it's all filmed on green screen. He's putting on a real coat, but he's got a screen suit. So the inside of that suit is CG.
That's it. Yeah, you can kind of tell.
The inside of the suits.
Yeah.
That's cool. Because he could have just buttoned the coat up, couldn't he? And then they don't have to do it. But I like that they've actually tried.
Yeah, he does when they go outside. You can see.
Yeah.
Is there like
It's a good
futuristic
effect.
car?
It looks real.
But what is it? It's the future.
I like how in the original Invisible Man, he dresses like he can't go out like until he's waited like 10 minutes after a meal because you see the food in his stomach like floating.
Yeah.
So he has to wait for it to digest.
Always freaked me out in the Hollow Man when he talks about he can't sleep because whenever he closes his eyes, he can still see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was a good film, that Hollow Man.
That scene in Hollow Man where monkey like chained down to the fucking.
Oh yeah.
Can't remember that.
The gorilla.
It like turns inside out, doesn't it, or something?
Yeah, something like that. It was gross.
They inject it with the serum to make it visible again, so you see all the arteries and everything come back into view.
Oh yeah,
it was one of those CG movies after Jurassic Park that you could tell they were still experimenting with stuff, but what they were doing was pretty cool.
I think
they
the
were
one with
trying
the
to
monkey
really
turning inside out you're thinking of is The Fly, when he transports it from one pod to the other.
No, I'm thinking of Hollow Man. It's a scene in the movie.
Oh, it goes inside out.
It's a similar scene, yeah. So who's she supposed to be? Dracula or Dracula?
She's just a vampire, I think.
Just a vampire.
Isn't she Dracula's daughter or something, or her wife? His
something
wife?
like that, yeah.
One of his 3 wives. That would be cool.
Bram Stoker's Dracula. That would be a great one. I think I've said that like 3 or 4 times before.
We will get around to that, Clayton. We're gonna have to. What does it say on Mars? Does it say something on Mars on the wall there? Is that alluding to H.G. Wells?
Didn't see.
Oh, could you imagine if if this film was successful and they did a sequel, which was this group of people versus the aliens from War of the Worlds?
Versus H.G. Wells.
That's maybe volcanoes. That's what it said.
Okay.
Eruptions on Mars, yeah.
Yeah, so it could be alluding to War of the Worlds.
What's that sign say? That newspaper clipping in Jurassic Park? Something about dinosaurs on Mars?
Dinosaurs found on Mars, yeah.
Dinosaurs found on Mars.
Pretty cool. That's a cool little thing to put in that movie.
That is a huge set.
Or Dorian Gray's place.
Yeah, like the whole street scene and buildings and all that.
That's what I mean. It's good production design.
I think at the time this came off as really silly, though. Like looking back,
but that's the thing. That's what I'm saying. At the time, it came off as silly, but now it would fit perfectly in amongst every movie that's come out in the last 10 years.
Like I could see this falling flat on its face, just like The Mummy just did. Like it was going for a similar thing with like Russell Crowe and Tom Cruise.
It also might be down to there's only really one big named actor in this.
John Connery.
Yeah, the rest are all pretty much unknowns.
That's true, yeah.
Whereas if this came out now, you would have like Chris Pratt as someone.
Right.
You know.
This isn't bad. This is just I don't think this worked.
Well, I think this might have possibly worked if they had done individual films before this film.
No, that's why I like this film. I'm opposed to watching 15 films to get to this film.
You've not got 15 characters to get to, have you? But even
that's
then,
true.
you easily like double up some of these characters. I mean, I could imagine Invisible Man and Vampire Girl working together in a film.
Yeah, or Captain Nemo and fucking Sean Connery doing something.
Exactly. So if they'd done it that way, maybe it might have had more success. But yeah, just kind of like you've been thrust into this world where you've got characters that you know by name, but you don't know their backstories or their reputations. So apart from looking at it thinking, okay, well that's Sean Connery, who's this guy who's portraying, you've not really got much else to go on.
I'd say, yeah, I completely agree with that. It's like there's I mean, you just saw his drink go down his throat. It's like you have to already be aware of the character's backstory. So when I was a kid, I read Dorian Gray, and obviously I read Dracula, and so I didn't know much about Captain Nemo, but I kind of knew Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. I knew all about Alan Quatermain was a completely new character to me, but like I sort of maybe that's why I went along.
Who was the audience for this in 2003? Because it's definitely not kids.
That's what's weird about it, is that it's so oddly placed.
It's for the 2013 kids. It was ahead of its time. It's for the kids who want to go watch Captain America: The First Avenger.
You got to think about it though. Like, no kid would like walk it. Like, if you were like, let's say, 6 years old, this came on screen. What the fuck is this?
It's Moriarty, isn't it?
Fucking.
He calls himself the Phantom as well. That's another nod to another character. He's got the mask on.
Reminds me of that general from Planet of the Apes.
Well, yeah, but this is what you got to remember. We say this like no kid would like this, but I picked this out as a DVD. I was like, out of all of the films that I could get, I went, I want this. I want to watch this.
I did like it at the time.
Yeah.
Definitely intrigued by it, but
then I had everyone shitting on it, and for some reason, I always kept the DVD. I was like, I'm keeping this.
I don't understand though. Like, you don't understand what I'm trying to say. Like the market for this.
Yeah, it was poorly marketed.
Oh, yeah. Very small market.
Yeah, such a niche idea.
Yes, very, very niche.
It feels to me, looking back at this now at this point, that they were very much hoping that it would be riding on the coattails of Sean Connery's success.
Yeah, exactly.
That it was just like, yeah, we'll get that.
Well, his name is like the biggest thing on the poster and stuff for this movie.
But like 2004, like Connery wasn't even like a big deal then, was he?
Not anymore. He was like
he'd already sort of faded, yeah.
Yeah.
So
you got to remember The Rock. The Rock was like nearly 10 years earlier.
Yeah. So he wasn't like a big star. That's why it's so weird.
Oh, but everyone would recognize him from
Indiana
Jones films or what was
James Bond.
they did? James Bond, yeah. So there'd be that cult following with his name, so everyone know him on that front. But yeah, like you say, he's not done anything for about 5 years.
There's one guy in the audience in the theater opening night that's like 50 years old, like, fuck yeah, Zardoz.
Get your pants out.
Imagine trailers for this movie, and the little kids are like, I don't know what the fuck I'm looking at. The people that are like 15 are like, oh yeah, it's the Bookworm Avengers.
Yeah, exactly. It's the Bookworm Avengers. That's the perfect way of describing it.
It's like, okay.
The Bookworm Avengers. Fucking Captain Nemo throwing people up against. Yeah, I know. That's why I like it, because it's so weird.
It's not bad. It's just I understand why this failed.
No, I do too. I really do. Captain Nemo's like flipping about. Like, what the hell?
He's a badass in this. Like for kids like us who like we've read the novels, we watched the old Universal horror films. This is just like cool.
Yeah.
But for your average kid who at the time just wanted like what Harry Potter,
Spider-Man, or
Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
Well, it's also because like films like Van Helsing. I remember that punch by Sean Connery in the trailers. They're like Dorian just getting littered with bullets. But no, it's like things like Van Helsing and that. I get when you have like or like vampire, you think Frankenstein, you think Wolfman, you think all those classic monsters. But I know this is based off the comic book. Who they chose for the comic book is so specific and niche that that's why I'm drawn to this, because I'm like, this is so peculiar. The choices of who's
very weird. Yeah, the fact that this exists is
and it is done in like a semi-competent way.
It's not. I don't think this is a terrible movie. It's
very action orientated. Like it's pretty much a superhero film from start to finish.
Again, it's like, who is this for? Like
me and Sicky T, apparently, just us two.
I'm
just
enjoying
saying.
it.
I'm just saying, like,
This is better than I remember.
remember when Godzilla was being marketed? The whole thing was it's the American version of fucking Godzilla. Like that's all you had to sell it on. You got kids, you got creature feature people, you've got old people. This
Who have you got?
who have you got? Like who's
Well, we're
lining up?
gonna spend. What was the budget on this? That's what I want to look up. Actually, there you go. You find out who she is now.
She's not Elizabeth Bathory, is she?
Find out.
No.
One thing I really remember about this movie is Sean Connery going, "Good shot, son." He's like dying at the end.
I remember that shot where she's like having an orgasm with all the blood coming out of her mouth.
League of Extraordinary Gentlemen. What was the question again?
Who is the woman? What did she say?
Who's the character?
The woman is
Mina Harker.
Mina Harker, yeah.
All right, okay.
Oh,
because
Harker
in this universe, Dracula got to her.
There you go.
I love Anthony Hopkins in that Bram Stoker's Dracula.
He's so good.
That's it. The Shane West plays Tom Sawyer. Tom Sawyer's in this as well.
That's a bit of a weird one.
Yeah, Huckleberry Finn. Isn't that crazy?
Not really fit.
Not really at all.
Ishmael's in this as well, from Moby Dick.
Ishmael? Really?
Yeah.
Oh, God, yeah.
Played by Terry O'Neill. Rodney Skinner is the name of the Invisible Man. So it's like, was Rodney Skinner... He was only named that in the comic book series.
I don't remember.
Yeah, he wasn't like a character from like the old
Invisible
films.
Man gets fucking lit on fire at the end.
Yeah, he's all crusted up.
Cool. Good effect.
Rodney Skinner's the Invisible Man.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like there's no Rodney Skinner in the old films, I don't think. Because he was called Jack, I think, in the old film.
Jack Griffin, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, he was saying before earlier in his dialogue that the other guy got killed and he took the formula, so I'm guessing he must have had like an assistant or something.
Is that what he said earlier?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's what he said anyway. I've got the audio on low, so I can't quite make out everything, but I'm pretty sure that's what he said.
This film was made on a budget of $78 million, and its box office made $179 million back.
100 and what?
79.
Okay, so they didn't do too bad.
They made $100 million at the box office. I guess that's US only, and then the rental revenue it made $48.6 million, and the DVD sales it made $36.4 million. And one of those $15 or so is the DVD I'm watching right now.
I heard that studios don't get barely anything back on physical media anymore because people just don't buy it.
They should, because fucking Disney Plus gets a hold of it. You won't have a film anymore.
Yep.
Yeah. It's the crazy thing is like they used to be able to recoup their losses sometimes on these movies. Now, fuck it, you bomb at the box office. It's fucked up.
Well, that's the thing is like has there ever been a sequel made based on the DVD sales? Like the first film?
All the fucking Highlander movies.
Okay, yeah. So we just saw the Nautilus, and now we enter Paris, and I love the look of Hyde with the top hat on. It looks so cool.
Oh, I don't know about that. I always thought that looked hokey, even at the time.
It was nice that they did like a practical effect.
Well, because Hellboy looked so much better, and that was around the same time. That was all practical shit on Ron Perlman's body.
I do love Hellboy 1. I think that's really a
I
really
like the
good
first
film.
two.
First two are brilliant. The third one was god awful.
Yeah, that remake was pretty shit.
I haven't seen that. I don't think I like the second one. I think's alright. I never really bought into it though.
Yeah, same.
Some of the effects are good. Yeah.
It's pretty The practical effects in Hellboy 2 are pretty good.
Mm.
Like they're especially for 2008 when people weren't doing that anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When Hyde's just like giggling away to himself.
Yeah, I don't like the Hyde effect. This was also around the time Hulk was out too.
Yeah, I'll admit, like his arms do look pretty funny, but I just love
Too
the look
stiff,
of
isn't
him
it?
in the top hat. It looks really funny.
Yeah.
Mm. I will say I prefer the overall design of this hide, especially with the top hat and stuff,
Mm.
compared to the Van Helsing hide. But I think I prefer the actual physical performance of that hide compared to this one.
I like the Van Helsing one. I think it's proper like
I
disturbing.
don't even
He's
think I
actually
remember
got a big top hat because
Hyde
he
from
just
Van
held it
Helsing.
up. That's a good joke.
I remember Frankenstein and the Dracula brides from Van Helsing.
You know what?
Dracula
I've never seen Van Helsing.
It's quite. It's all right.
It's pretty fun. It's very
Mhm.
2004. It's like PG-13 Underworld. That's
Yeah.
Van Helsing.
I just want to have a look at this hide.
I think he's all CG, isn't he?
In Van Helsing, he is, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh god, it looks like fucking Robin Williams as Popeye.
Yeah, it's got like a proper creepy voice, and it doesn't eat the cigar and stuff.
Yeah.
It's spooky.
Hmm.
And they try to say that he did the Jack the Ripper killings, and then that's why they stopped because he went to Paris, something like that.
Oh really?
Hugh
All I
Jackman's
heard was
I
like
followed you from London or something like
I have
that.
to rewatch that movie.
I've only ever heard that film is absolute garbage.
That was back when people were saying everything was absolute garbage.
It's
Yeah.
not much worse than this one, to be honest.
Yeah.
No, they're
Okay,
about on
alright.
the
It's
same
about on
level.
par, I would say.
Yeah.
Okay,
about
maybe I
Yeah.
will check it out because I like
And
this.
do you remember when War of the Worlds came out and people were saying it's fucking trash?
Oh god, War of the Worlds is so
Yeah.
good.
It's good, dude. It's a good movie.
Yeah, I like this. I like the use of their practical effects here for Hyde, but have they shot him in such a way that like he looks massive?
He's probably on stilts and shit.
I think it's two different shots.
Yeah, I think they've
it's composited in.
Yeah, because his head is bigger.
Connery's on green screen.
I have to say
His
it's pretty
eye line's
good.
slightly off.
Oh yeah, you're right. Wow.
You stink of fear. You do an impression of my voice, Hyde.
When he turns into like the big red Hulk thing, that's because he took too much formula or something.
That's the villain, isn't it?
Yeah, it's one of the villains takes it, one of the henchmen.
Villain.
Yeah.
And then you get this like really creepy transformation where you see glimpses of like this malformed version.
What if that just killed fucking Tom Sawyer and that was his end of the role in the whole movie?
Just beheaded that and shit.
These effects of the transition are really like disturbing. It's like Ripley 7 or something.
It's me a Wolfman, Joe Johnston film.
We have a Hulk. Basically, what his role is in this film.
Yeah, well, you're right. I bet you that Kevin Feige guy did take a lot of inspiration from this movie.
I'm telling you, it's like they've got their big ship, like not floating in the sky, but they've got their big ship. They got the Hulk now.
This is bringing back so much memories of like so many early 2000s movies of special effects like that.
But
13 Ghosts.
Yeah. That's the thing about like when I watch the Avengers, the new one. Well, I say new one, fucking 2012 when that first came out. I was sitting in the cinema and everyone was loving it, and I was like sitting there thinking to myself, "Where the fuck were all of you for League of Extraordinary Gentlemen?"
Sitting at home where they belong. Yeah, but this is the thing. Like, I get why you're saying that. I
look at this.
This is way more intelligent than Avengers, but like, you can sell the Avengers.
Yeah, I know.
Like,
yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I'm tired of Marvel though, to tell you. Like, I'm not sticking up for it.
Yeah, that's why you basically need to throw out all of your Marvel films and just buy a copy of League of Extraordinary Gentlemen, and you'll be sorted.
I don't really
for the rest
own
of time.
like many MCU movies. I think I own Civil War, and that might be it. I've only seen it twice. I own like the original Spider-Man trilogy and all the X-Men movies. Fox.
Spider-Man 3. Spider-Man 3.
I've only seen Spider-Man 3 once in theaters. I own it, and I've never even seen it like a second time.
Oh my god.
You can say what you want, man. I remember laughing in the theater at that fucking dancing
me
emo
too.
Peter Parker shit. I remember thinking that was funny as hell.
You haven't seen Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, have you?
Oh, I haven't seen
There's
that.
a whole scene about that in there. It's hilarious.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that film actually rips into the other films quite nicely as well.
Well, it's like they allude to the fact that Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse is like Spider-Man 4 of that universe. It's really interesting what Sony did. They were like, yeah, we need to do something different to Marvel and make it better. I have to say,
Marvel has lost its steam because of the end of the Thanos shit.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, I think it has.
I think they're a dying breed now.
I hope so. You never want to be like a dick and like want something to fail, but I'm just so tired of the same movie packaged over and over again.
That's the thing. You don't want it to fail. You want it to just stop, quit while it's ahead.
Yeah. Just end it, please. People are saying like 10 years or 11. Like, it doesn't feel like that to me. It feels like 20 years. Because it's like X-Men 1 was 2000. I know that they don't count those, but like.
Yeah, but to us, they were. But then there's people who watch like the 89 Batman and be like, it's been going on for 40 years. Fucking Donner's Superman.
Yeah.
His acting from Sean Connery pretending he's holding an invisible person. Arch my boot up your ass.
Well,
saw you a good Sean Connery.
Go on, sorry, Colleen, sorry.
You can go ahead. Mine's a little more.
I was just going to say, what were your guys' thoughts on the Nautilus?
I thought it was
like
quite cool.
Design.
It's kind of interesting.
I kind of like it, but I think it detracts from the whole kind of like it inspired that sea monster story that got them looking for the thing in the first place. I like the design of it. I like the idea that
you're gonna have to refresh my mind on that. What do you mean?
So in the novel, the reason that they go looking for the submarine in the first place is because the sailors were being attacked by a sea monster that was sinking warships. So they bring in a crew of people, and when they find the ship, they try to sink it, get dislodged, and then they end up being taken onto the Nautilus, and that's where they find out it's a submarine.
Because it looks like I think it's a creature done.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
sea monster.
Whereas in this, it's shaped more like a weapon, which
he calls it the sword of the ocean, don't they? In this, that's its nickname.
Because it works well for this film, but then it's almost like, well, has he got roaming around? Because it'll do the job, but it just detracts from the whole sea monster side of it. So I've always been 50-50.
I like the design of it. The only thing I don't like about the Nautilus in this is that black top bit on the outside, because I think that's where the CGI really looks old and dated.
Yeah.
Like there's just something about the black bits on the top where it like dates the CGI, whereas the rest is all good.
You guys ever seen Never Say Never Again?
No.
I think so. I can't remember. It's been a while if I have.
It's the unofficial James Bond movie. With Sean Connery came back in like the early 80s, and he plays like an older Bond. Like,
was he actually called Bond in it?
It's a James Bond movie. It's technically a remake of Thunderball, because the rights to Thunderball are like really iffy. I think Ian Fleming wrote that script. And then like the producer had the rights to it or something. Max von Sydow is Ernst Stavro Blofeld. Basinger is in it. It's pretty good. You should check it out.
I'm really not into the James Bond stuff, I have to say.
Same with you, Sicky. But there's the thing is, I will watch them if if I fancy it.
It's
But I watched GoldenEye
some...
back not too long ago because I was like, God, I haven't watched that in ages, and everyone raves on about
I
it.
love
And
GoldenEye.
I didn't like it. I was like, this is shit.
I love it. Never Say Never Again has some really early computer effects. Like, I don't know if you could call it CGI, but it's like
done on computer.
It's like a hologram in the movie, a video game hologram thing that Sean Connery has to play. Like if he loses, it actually like tortures him a little bit. I don't know how to explain it. The movie came out in like '83, so it's like early days for shit like that.
Cool. I'll have to check that out. So, but it's not. Is it recognized as part of the James Bond canon?
No. They call him James Bond. He's 007. He's an older Bond that's like his 50s or maybe like.
Never Say Never Again.
Google it. I'm surprised you don't know what it is.
I've heard that name. I just thought it was part of the James Bond library. I just didn't realize it was meant to be outside of that.
Yeah, well, at the time, Roger Moore was Bond. There was like a big upheaval on like what movie would in the box office, Octopussy or Never Say Never Again.
Oh, see, yeah, I didn't realize that.
It's like Sean Connery was literally going up against the people that were like taking
Rowan
over his
Atkinson's
role.
in it.
It's check it out.
Okay.
It's like a 60s Bond movie made in the 80s. It's
all right. There's a film called Outland. Is it Outland? It's set in like on one of the moons of Jupiter, and it's got Sean Connery in it. And it's a lot of people, a lot of fans of the Alien franchise say that if there's ever a film that's set in the same universe that's not part of the franchise, that's the closest you'll ever get to it. And I'm like, I've never seen it, and I really want to see it. Yeah.
I've never heard of it.
I remember the name of it now.
Is that one movie that they said was like a sequel to Blade Runner with Kurt Russell?
Yeah, what is that?
Something Soldier.
Universal Soldier.
Oh, no, it's not. It's not Universal Soldier, but it has Soldier in the title.
It's like that, yeah. I've never seen it.
It is Outland.
I haven't seen it either.
Outland, yeah.
It is Outland, yep.
Cool. Look at this statue with the 7 arms. Imagine if that just came alive. It's some Ray Harryhausen.
Not seen it yet.
That'd be great if in this film they got him out of retirement to like actually animate a character who's part of the League of Extraordinary Gentlemen.
I thought you were going to say Ray Harryhausen was a part of the League of Extraordinary Gentlemen.
He's just there animating.
Let's put it this way: if he turned down Stan Lee for working on a Marvel X-Men project, I'm pretty sure he would have turned this down as well.
Yeah. Shiva.
You guys are ahead of us because we're still at the trying to shoot the boyos in the sea.
Oh yeah,
I skipped ahead.
I've jumped ahead. She's doing experiments now in the room. DVD for you.
Your DVD player might just be running fast or something.
Yeah, that might be what it is.
Because it's faster than iTunes. It's faster than Netflix.
But here's the thing: it doesn't feel fast when I'm watching it. It looks fine. Like it looks like it's running at the
doing
exact
so many
speed.
fucking drugs.
Yeah. Well, my Blu-ray player will be here any day now, so maybe I'll be sorted when that comes.
A line of coke before watching one of these commentary movies. It's like, my DVD player's so fast.
Want to watch League of Extraordinary Gentlemen?
Yeah.
No, Jack.
It's not a bad movie, but again, this is like very. Where's the action right now? It's just kind of like.
Whereas them on the boat. It's character stuff at the moment, isn't it? They're all just.
Yeah. This isn't in the Avengers. Like they'll be cracking jokes and shit and fighting like each other if they're not fighting the villains.
Yeah, there's more jokes in Avengers, whereas this takes itself more seriously.
I don't think any of these people seem like the sort to crack jokes, I have to say.
Oh,
but there is jokes in this, like when Tom Sawyer was holding up Hyde's massive top hat and was like looking at it like, what the hell?
damn. It's so weird watching this now.
And that's why I
Movies
wanted
have
to do it.
Things have changed so much.
Mm. How clumsy of me. You could very easily see like Dorian Gray being played by fucking Johnny Depp in this.
And
Yeah,
Reynolds.
I was thinking of that. Like every other actor's kind of like even Dracula, the Harker lass, even though she's not like a big name, she does a good job. But this Dorian Gray, I feel like they could have gone with a bigger name for him.
Yeah. I like this scene where Hyde's like taunting him through the reflection on the submarine.
He's bad, isn't he? Isn't he a villain?
No, he's one of the goodies. It's Dorian Gray who's the villain. Secret
That's what
villain.
I said.
Oh, I thought you meant Hyde. Sorry.
Oh, no. I was talking about Dorian Gray. That's... I really like that.
What was that? The reflection stuff?
Yeah, the reflection, like he's Smeagol and Gollum talking to each other.
This is the same year
Willem
as
Dafoe and Green Goblin.
Yeah. This is the same year as Return of the King.
Misery. Every line of dialogue the Green Goblin speaks is just fucking quotable.
I'm something of a scientist myself.
Could squash you like a bug.
The itsy witsy spider climbed up the water spout. Down came the goblin and took the spider out.
Peter, it's me.
A scene in that film where he throws those little pumpkin bombs and they turn into like really bad CGI skeletons.
Yeah, the skeletons.
I love it. That's why I like it, because it's just like samurai madness. Yeah.
It's like a fucking Power Rangers episode elongated to like 2 hours. I offered you friendship and you spat in my face. Fucking suits so rubbery.
Oh, that's it. There is infighting in this because he says that Skinner took one of the vials from Dr. Jekyll's thing. Yeah, but it's actually Dorian Gray who's selling it all off to Moriarty, isn't he?
You know what? Maybe the Avengers did copy this movie.
I'm telling you, man. This is the same
try to use
film.
the Hulk as like a weapon?
Yeah.
That movie?
Yes. It's the same film. It's just everyone lapped it up because they're not bookworms. They're not people who read.
Plagiarism right there.
This is like, you know, Ridley Scott. You know, Ridley Scott took, well, the people who wrote Prometheus probably watched Alien vs. Predator. Same deal.
Ridley Scott doesn't even know he's ripping it off.
Yeah. He shits on it all the time.
Damon Lindelof, who fucking ripped it off.
And didn't no, it was Joss Whedon, wasn't it, who wrote Avengers?
Directed the Avengers. Did he write it too?
I have no idea.
Yeah, the more you say that, the more I'm like, you know what?
This did it first. This was the original Avengers. And then everyone was like...
It makes me dislike the Avengers more, though, because...
Same here. But that's the thing. It's like, I know, like, you're completely right. And I agree with you that this is a very niche group of characters to be marketing.
I'm not saying
people.
It's bad. I'm just saying,
no,
like,
but
who the fuck was
I'm not
saying...
No, but I'm not saying you're saying it's bad. What I was trying to say was like that it was weird for me to watch this, go, I enjoy this. This is really good, and no one else like it or say anything about it. And I was like, okay, I can see it's not the greatest film ever made, but it's a pretty interesting film. And then a few years later, the Avengers comes out, and it's this like massive thing, and I'm like, hang on a second, what's going on here? Like.
Dad really
just
liked
weird
this
to
movie
me
when it was new.
Your dad he's got taste.
He hated Lost World, remember that?
Hey, you heard what I said about the Lost World earlier.
He likes it now, though.
Look at these guys in these diving bell, these dive suits. They look hilarious.
Actually glad you picked this movie because I have not seen this in years.
Yeah. I just thought it'd be interesting. Just a piece of history, like a weird moment in cinematic.
It is interesting. Sure.
Christmas of the same year would be Return of the King coming out. It's like,
imagine the Twitter conversations that would have been had when this was released. Like, League of Extraordinary Gentlemen, you retard.
This is the thing. I would love to get like someone who's like completely mad, batshit crazy mad about the Avengers films and show them this and be like, "What do you think about this?" So I bet there's some kids who don't even know what this is.
They probably don't recognize any of these characters though.
Like Nemo, today. Isn't he a fish?
Like, who the fuck is Tom Sawyer?
Alan Quatermain.
Invisible guy, is that Mr. Fantastic?
Oh fucking hell,
yeah. Nemo, isn't that a CGI fish?
Isn't that a fish?
Yeah. They don't realize where even that fish gets its name from. I remember this bit of the film with the car being my least favorite bit of the movie because the effects do not hold up.
That's right.
Yeah, the effects do not hold up when they're driving through Venice as it's like collapsing.
Really, like slow and like.
I feel like they that from Men in Black. That fucking car is like transforming and shit.
See, look, it's the same thing. He's like, Hyde will never use me again. I'm not going to turn into the Hulk. Like, he's refusing to do it. And then at the end of the film, he's got to be like, you know what my secret is? I'm always angry. And then he willingly turns.
Dorian Gray is kind of like Loki then, isn't he?
Exactly, yep. It's all there.
How do you know how to drive that car?
The car driving here looks fine. There's a shot later on where they're like driving through like these columns or something, and she turns into a vampire. Well, she turns into a load of bats. I just remember the effects not holding up. Maybe my mind's just wrong. Maybe it's really good.
Sean Connery says, "Can you track this thing about the car?" But he wouldn't even know what that means.
Yeah.
Track this. He was
track
like,
it.
Just made up words to him, man.
There you go. Tom Sawyer's got his 2 pistols out now.
Let's get my diary to Germany. Berlin.
Hey, that's funny because in that film he's in Venice, or they're having a chase sequence through Venice.
My soul is prepared. So's yours.
Oh my god.
He jumped out of the car.
Yeah, the effects on the vampire, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, it's like reverse footage and CG badness. Oh god, yeah.
Actually, the stuff with the car isn't... Oh no, here we go, yeah. This is it, yeah.
Oh fucking hell, those bats are... Oh, Jesus Christ.
These bats look terrible.
Haven't gotten to the bats yet.
Oh,
I'm at the part where Sean Connery's
Birdemic.
Birdemic.
Hey, I've been saying... That's weird though, because like, what's going on with this whole COVID thing right now? I saw a cloud of birds outside my house that I've never seen before. Ridiculous. And then I've been seeing videos of like other birds. Maybe there's something happening.
Hitchcock got it right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I see why this movie didn't get any money. You gotta remember back then, people are going to see shit like Spider-Man.
Yeah.
I say some of the miniature work in the town was actually quite good.
Yeah, I think they built a lot of it, didn't they?
Yeah,
quite a lot of it's practical.
There's Moriarty.
It reminds me of I don't know if you guys will agree with me, but sets like the little sets in Phantom Menace, Naboo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry,
yeah.
When Alan Quatermain jumps out of the car, he perfectly lands, like his feet. There's a shot of his feet landing on the floor, and it's like the car's moving at like 100 miles an hour or something.
Oh yeah, I just saw that.
His feet just go like perfectly on the floor.
His ankles would fucking break, wouldn't they?
I'm Sean Connery.
I will give this film credit though.
Great.
This is an ambitious action sequence to do in 2003.
It's an ambitious movie. Like everything that's going on. This looks expensive as fuck.
That's where they all think Tom Sawyer dies.
If this was a little more quippy, I think this could have fit in with like The Mummy and shit a few years earlier.
Yeah, that's the perfect tone for this.
Like if it was a little more silly and it came out in like 98, 99, maybe even 2000, it might have gotten away with like a lot of this stuff.
God, that looks like something out of like fucking Independence Day, that building being blown up.
Yeah.
Just look at this image of Sean Connery as an old man with his fucking gun walking through.
No, I keep looking back at that picture every now and then.
You don't look at him as like, oh, it's fucking Bond. It's like, no, it's this washed up actor. It's like, this is his last film.
To blow up that building to stop the domino effect. Vanish still stands. You failed.
Might actually rewatch this after we're done doing the commentary just to like listen to every line of dialogue and like I am quite interested.
Well, that's the thing. It's like I was clearing out my DVDs so I could like put some up in the attic because we're getting the spare room ready for the little one. And I went through all my DVDs and I saw this and I was just like, I just had this wave of like, I really want to watch this. I haven't seen it in years. I'm glad we are. I'll probably do the same, Clayton. I'll probably watch this.
Been a while. Like this is the era in which this came out too is also like it's one of those movies that I was technically a kid, but I was older than when I was watching like Jurassic Park and Lost World and it like Anaconda and stuff. Like this was when I was getting older.
This is better than Anaconda.
Sure, but this is leagues better than Anaconda.
An extraordinary amount of leagues better than Anaconda.
Yes. It's just the time period when this came out. It's very early 2000s. 03, 04. Underworld, Van Helsing. All that
there
shit.
you go. You can
I
see
think
his
it's disappointing
makeup.
that the villain isn't all fucked up and burnt.
Yeah.
That would've been
Yeah.
cooler. Like he's not a very scary villain.
There's a lot of knife stabbing in this.
Throwing. I'm back. I walked like 3 fucking miles.
All these men just running around like aimlessly in different directions.
Our engine satellite just went out.
Our satellite was in that car. We just went into that building. We're stuck here, ladies and gentlemen. Stuck together. Thanks to you people.
But I lost you, boy.
That's it. Yeah, they think
Last Crusaded him.
well, they think Skinner is the spy, not Dorian Gray.
Oh yeah, that's right. I forgot about that whole subplot.
But Skinner's actually following Dorian Gray, isn't he? Like he's pretending. He's like disappearing so he can actually follow them.
This guy.
Ishmael. That's it. Ishmael's just been killed. It was Gray.
Green flame.
Not Skinner. It was the green flame. What?
Green flame.
I ever tell you, Jack, somebody showed me like the scripts for what the green flame was supposed to get revealed as.
Wasn't it Aliens?
God, what was it?
It was faked out when cloning. And it was just some military thing. Like it's hard to explain. Fucking
Oh, I remember this little side capsule thing that comes out of the side of the Nautilus.
It's weird.
this fucking idea of John Hammond like living in this Alaskan cabin and like a whole bunch of people come to kill him.
Yeah.
He mows them down with like an AK-47.
Sounds awesome.
It's awesome, but it's so bad at the same time.
Yeah.
Could you imagine that in a movie? Richard Attenborough just going like,
well, that's like the person whose pens Captain Nemo watching this. Seeing Captain Nemo fly about in the air kicking. That would be if we saw John Hammond shooting people with an AK. Yeah, I like this capsule. It's really weirdly designed. Doesn't look like it would work at all.
Oh, not in the slightest.
This movie's kind of bonkers, isn't it? You think about it. Everything that's going on. Where are all the people, by the way? These like literary characters just fuck up like different parts of the world, like on their little mission.
I like this tracking thing they've got. This like globe with the two lights.
It's like over designed to fuck.
It's funny because this room looks like it's got pillars, it's got all this stuff, and it's like you forget that they're in a submarine.
Yeah, it's like Taj Mahal, isn't it?
It's cool, but it's like it makes absolutely no sense.
Yeah, but I mean,
it's like the size of the room as well. You look at the outside of that sub being quite thin, and then you come inside here, it's like a TARDIS. It's like 3 times bigger.
Oh yeah, and they play this record disc. And
He's
like...
got a vinyl.
Isn't that like this is what triggers the bombs?
Can't remember.
The Beatles, my favourite.
He puts it on, it's like deepest, bluest. My head is like a shark's fin. Yeah, because they play this vinyl, and then there's like bombs that are on the ship that, like, the vinyl being played causes them to blow up, which is exactly the same as what happens in Avengers when he takes out the fucking
holy
ship.
Shit, you are right. They did rip this movie off.
What I'm saying, you can spend 15 films getting to Avengers, or you can just watch this one. You've got it done.
I wonder if there's other people that have made this connection though, because this is blatantly same plot. Remember, they've got that big ship in the Avengers where all of them are like,
yep. They don't want the Hulk to Hulk out on it, which is what Nemo says to hide here. He's like, I will not have that monster on my ship.
Remember the whole part where Loki reveals his plan? But I hate this looking in the mirror. Shit's so stupid. Human.
He collected the parts he needs.
Directed this?
Stephen Norrington, who did Blade.
Yeah, that's right.
Which is a Marvel property. Maybe Stephen Norrington actually wrote Avengers, and he's like, right, this is what everyone's going to bloody get. And then Joss Whedon. Was it Joss Whedon? I can't remember who bloody did it.
Joss Whedon directed it, yeah. He probably wrote it too.
Joss Whedon wrote it, but maybe he like scrubbed out Stephen Norrington's name on the cover. And Stephen Norrington was like, will no one like my idea for a movie?
Ooh, I don't like that at all. Quick camera shit. That reminds me of Die Another Day, where they kept like speeding up the footage and then like slowing it down. Fucking race cars on pace and shit.
Dorian Gray just said bomb voyage. Bomb voyage. Oh, you're saying the quick camera to the bombs?
Yeah.
I'm a little bit behind you now. How the hell did that happen?
Guy Ritchie.
Yeah. Dang, took out the Nautilus.
Let me have the wheel.
These guys run through this ship.
Like a Starfleet.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Isn't this the bit where it like pierces the surface of the water or something? Like you see the shape of the blade or whatever. It looks like a blade coming out of the water.
Yeah, I think so.
I think when they're filming this, Sean Connery just like started talking, having Hunt for Red October flashbacks.
He starts screaming lines from that film, and they're like, "What are you saying, Sean?"
A shot of him looking in the reflection of the mirror, and it's like Sam Neill's dead body.
It's like ping them once, ping them twice.
If I was making this film and I had a bit more of a budget, I would have had, instead of bombs on the ship to bring it down, I would have had the record plays a sound that only a certain monster can hear, and then you have the like giant squid or something from the 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea appears and starts attacking the ship.
Transformation scenes are so
they're weird, aren't they?
They're well, I remember obviously they're doing that because they couldn't do the CGI as convincing back then.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So it's like
they had to build like several different versions of it.
Just reminds me so much of like 13 Ghosts and like movies like that.
The House on Haunted Hill with
House on Haunted Hill.
Yeah. There's that bit where they look underwater in that bit. That freaked me out when I was a kid, that scene.
Ever seen The Haunting with Liam Neeson?
Yeah, we mentioned that earlier during Anaconda. Yeah, I mentioned it, and he's like, when Owen Wilson sees the pendulum coming towards him, he's like, "Oh wow!"
Yeah.
Gets his head knocked off. I used to like that film when I was a kid, but I don't remember it at all.
Too. That was when I fell out of love with pretty quickly, though.
Yeah, same. There you go. You got the reflection of Jekyll.
Got the pool table set back up.
The cool shot of the ship coming back out of the surface.
Yeah, the Avengers totally took ideas from this movie.
Because there's no other way to do it. They had no other ideas. They had all those comic books, all that backstory of how they could do it. And they had to rip off Alan Moore.
You know what's a shame, too?
But not only Alan Moore, sorry. A film adaptation of Alan Moore's comic book.
The MCU doesn't even properly adapt the comic book stories. They kind of do them half-assedly, but everyone eats it up. Everybody calls that thing the Tesseract. It's called the fucking Cosmic Cube.
Yeah.
What they're doing.
Oh, that's it. Yeah, he's getting the message from Skinner now. He's like, I'm hiding away. He doesn't realise I'm with him. I forget how they get back. They don't fix this, do they?
They don't fix this one. I remember actually how they get off it in the first place.
Yeah, I can't remember how they get off.
Fly? Doesn't something fly out the back of it or something?
Oh, they've got that glide, that thing. Oh god, I can't even remember what it looks like.
I don't remember it at all.
It's just Brendan Fraser turns up with that plane from The Mummy.
You like the Mummy movies?
I only like the first one.
Yeah.
I actually think The Mummy Returns is better than the first one.
Do you?
I don't think very highly of the first one.
I don't think highly of any of them, but
I kind of like the second one, but only up until the Scorpion King shows up. After that point,
yeah, the Scorpion King is real bad. Like, even when they kill the Scorpion King and then fucking
they do
Arnold
fix it.
Vosloo like runs up and it's like, no, stab him.
The third one was god awful. I hated that.
Yeah, that third one's real bad.
I didn't even finish that. I got halfway through it when I'm bored and just turned it off.
I remember seeing the Yetis score a touchdown with like a human being, and like that was just. I was like, all right, that's enough of that.
So I remember watching the first Brendan Fraser Mummy and thinking, I like this, but it's not like anything to rave about. But then again, it might
really
be good.
liked it when
It
it
might be
came
good for
out.
these sort of commentaries.
Yeah. I rewatched it back around Thanksgiving, back in November. It's okay. It's not great, in my opinion.
It's a
Just
mediocre film for the 90s.
yeah, it's mediocre. Like it's I get why people loved it. I get why I liked it. It's I think a lot of it had to do with actually that CGI effect of seeing him like turn back into a human
Mm.
gradually over
Yeah.
the course of the film.
You just want him to be that sort of half-eaten mummy for the whole film.
Yeah.
Keep it nice and ghoulish.
Tell you something though, Owen Grady from the Jurassic World movies is like a more tamed down version of whatever the fuck Brendan Fraser's name is in those mummy movies.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Down to the outfit and everything.
Mm.
Just the Brendan Fraser one's way more jokey.
Yeah, he's way more jokey.
Like the character. Like that's pretty similar to Owen Grady in the Jurassic World movies. Which, I mean,
oh, this is the bit where Sean Connery sees a tiger.
What?
You don't remember this, do you? He sees the tiger in the snow. He's like guarding. Skinner.
Is this Narnia? I don't remember this at all.
It's something to do with like his past life or something. It's something to do with that.
I think it's in one of the Quatermain stories, I think.
I
don't know. Can't remember.
Because then it walks away and then the Invisible Man turns up.
Look at that fake snow in his goggles.
Is no.
Its snow effects are terrible there.
AVP had real bad snow effects.
It's like white spray paint.
It's just pushy galore.
Here he is. He's like the comic relief, isn't he? The Invisible Man. Well, hello to you too. And need I remind you, I am naked in the snow. I can't feel any of my extremities. I thought it was like kind of a really clever but cheap way of just having that white paste. Just cover his face in it and behind his ears everywhere. In his ears.
Oh, weird movie to rewatch. This is something else. There should be like fucking video essays on YouTube about this.
There should be.
It should be analyzed and like looked over. Like
should be ripped to like Sherlock Holmes. The audience is Sherlock Holmes.
Fascinating. Like the fact that this exists.
Oh yeah, forget they're building more Nautiluses as well, aren't they? They're building everything.
It's like the Lord of the Rings where the orcs are like tearing down the trees. And
It's back on the menu, boys.
We have work to do.
What about their legs? Don't need those.
Well, those movies are too good to watch on the commentary.
These commentaries are strictly for movies that are okay. I won't have any quality in these commentaries. Then people might be like,
"This isn't Jurassic Park. This isn't a bad movie."
Yeah.
What?
But Jurassic Park's.
I remember.
A League of Extraordinary Gentlemen. Yeah, it's much better than I remember too. It's just so fucking weird that it exists. Like this is not a blockbuster.
But the thing is, a film exactly the same as it, just with different characters, was a blockbuster.
It's so weird.
I guess the difference, obviously the big difference, is the ending of Avengers takes place in a city and it's got a huge scale and it's like just ridiculous. Whereas this is
a
more
lot of
like low
CGI
key.
and
This is
stuff.
like in a couple of rooms inside this factory. They're having fist fights
Yeah.
and because they didn't have the
So weird though,
technology.
because like this is 2003. Avengers would be 2012. Like in the span of a decade, look how much shit changed.
Yeah.
I don't really think comparing the Avengers to right now seems to be in a relatively similar place.
Well, yeah. Just
You know
bigger.
what I mean?
Yeah, you
Just
watch the last Avengers film, it's really no different to. I mean, obviously the plot's different, but it's
instead of like a light shooting into the fucking sky over New York, it's like the whole universe is gone.
yeah.
Can't believe I'm feeling nostalgic for something from the early 2000s. It's so weird.
You can
I don't
thank
know
me
how to
later,
feel
Clayton.
about it.
Why I was so hard on pushing this film? I was like, we've got to get this. This film's
It's
a
just the
gem.
time period this came out. It's like, wow, this whole era was kind of underappreciated, I feel.
We're coming up to the Hulk v Hulk scene. The Hyde v Hyde.
This shit was copied in every movie, by the way, because then Van Helsing Dracula fights Hugh Jackman's Wolfman version.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and trying to think, like even the Hulk movie, Nick Nolte versus Eric Bana.
Iron Man does it as well, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, they're doing the
Richard.
cheesy. They're doing the cheesy. Put their hands in the center. Go team!
It's morphin' time.
That's pretty bad. That's probably one of my least favorite moments of this movie, actually.
It's like Mr. Ink. Like they're gonna go solve the fucking Scooby-Doo crime.
Yeah, you might as well. Go team!
Were some other gothic movies that came out around this time that were more like, you know,
don't know.
I think
there was a lot of them. This was one of many.
Yeah, there was this Van Helsing.
And you could technically class like Blade 2 in there. This is before vampires were like pussified with like Twilight and shit.
That ruined it.
Yeah,
ruined the vampires.
Really
I've never seen the Underworld films.
Oh, really?
Yeah, never even seen any of them.
I think I've seen the first one.
I think the first two.
I think I was just burnt out by that idea. You know, after you watch League of Extraordinary Gentlemen, it's like, what else is there to live for, really?
I'll tell you, this is probably better than the Underworld movies.
It's better than most movies. This is better than Jurassic Park.
Shut the hell up. This is not better than Jurassic Park.
Sorry, you didn't hear me. Jurassic Park 3 was the full sentence.
Yeah, of course. It's better than Jurassic Park 3.
Like the amount of sets in this as well, like all these rooms. Do you think these like redressed?
It's impressive.
These like redressed sets from the Nemo ship? Do you think?
Maybe.
All these Nazis.
Ow. He says ow. The fucking ash.
The thing is, they look like Nazis, but they're not actually Nazis, are they?
No, they took inspiration from that though when they were designing them. Just like, what's old?
Yeah.
Oh, Moriarty shaved his beard. Or his little moustache. The brute's potion, the vampire's blood, the Indian science, and the mounted samples of invisible skin. There'll be all the rage in Europe. Hide. Nemo's like, we've got trouble, and he's like, I call it sport.
Yeah, I can see you eating this shit up when it came out, Jack.
Oh yeah, I'm
This
eating
is
it up
right
right
up your
now.
alley.
I'm eating it up right now. This is
Yeah, I know, but how old were you when this came out? You had to have been what, like 14 or something?
yeah, 13,
I can
14.
see your.
See, this to me, this was like, because obviously the superhero thing, I've never really been like a huge fan of, but this reminded me of like Indiana Jones meets superheroes, and I was like, yeah, I'm all over
It's
that.
kind of like it feels very Last Crusade.
Not just because of Sean Connery.
Oh, the action, like I see, even the design of stuff.
There's also, you got to remember, like back in the day, I had like, or for us, like movies like what the kids watch with Avengers now, they were nowhere. Like this was all new.
No, they weren't like that.
Yeah.
Jurassic Park was kind of like the Avengers back then, in terms of like that's what kids watched.
I mean, even like
Either,
the superhero thing and pairing different characters together, like that wasn't like a normal
oh
thing.
no,
Now
they
it's
didn't.
like,
Yeah,
you'd always talk about it on the playground, like, oh, what if this character killed this character? But
if aliens and predators fought each other, man.
yeah, exactly. Now we're like, what, 2 decades after all that, and we're like, oh god,
Yeah.
they need to stop doing it. We've had enough. Please, we've had enough.
There's a certain level of like competence and dignity with this movie, though. I'll say that it was not just slapped together.
I think it's because it's not got like Disney or DC behind it pushing. They want to make loads of money. This is like someone, I know the director and Sean Connery hated this film. That's why they quit filmmaking. But it's like, I don't know.
I think Sean Connery just.
You're right. There's just competence behind this, where it's like they knew what they were doing and they wanted to do it because they knew the
I don't
idea
even
they
think it's
had was
incredible
unique.
or anything. It's just like it's refreshing to see something like this.
But then again, it's based off a novel, a comic. So the comic is the one that.
I'm remembering a lot more. Doesn't she kill him by like putting the portrait towards his face or something?
She shows him it, yeah, because he can't look at it.
Yeah.
I remember that shot of her with the X cuts on her face, and she's like doing that sort of orgasmic look in all of the trailers.
Yeah, let's see, this is another thing that was popular at the time, like two similar powered people fighting each like remember when Wolverine fought a girl from X-Men 2 had the adamantium like nails?
Yeah.
That's kind of like what this is.
Oh, he staked her.
Not through the heart.
I was hoping to nail you, but I didn't think it'd be literally. There's your one-liner.
This was like the last little hoorah of those types of movies before everything got super fucking serious.
Yeah.
Jason Bourne movies would have been all over the place after this. They'd already started coming out, weren't they?
I think the first one came out in 2002, was it?
Yeah. The Matrix is like way more serious than this too.
Isn't that Matrix Revolutions came out this year?
Yeah, 2 and 3 came out the same year.
Oh yeah, it was the same year, wasn't it? Because it was like 5 months after one another. God, I remember going to see Matrix Reloaded, and when that said "to be concluded" at the end, I was like, "Holy shit!" I hadn't seen anything like that before at the cinema.
I didn't like Matrix Reloaded when it came out, but I'll tell you, I rewatched some scenes of it the other.
I was all over that shit when that came out.
I was like, damn, this is not bad at all. Fucking the whole Mr. Anderson, his clones of himself, like all over the fucking.
The CGI cool. In that it's cool, but the CGI is like, oh
I know,
my god,
but it's
so
kind of like a little piece in time where they're all like rubber people, like flipping through there. The dialogue is so fun though, where he's like, "Purpose, Mr. Anderson. It is purpose that guides us."
Yeah,
and they're all like coming. That's fun as fuck.
Oh, Skinner just got burnt. They're saving the scientists. Go on, scientists.
This would be something you'd find on like Netflix if it was made today. It'd go straight
Mm.
there instead of the theaters.
Yeah, this is like the Netflix series.
People would find it and be like, "Oh, you seen this great movie, League of
Oh, here he
Extraordinary
goes.
Gentlemen?"
He's gonna drink it. Not the whole thing. I remember the CGI on this hide being somewhat questionable. But
the whole thing, half of it's on its face.
Oh, he didn't stake her
This
in
is
the
the big
heart.
red one, right? Yeah.
Yeah, he didn't stake her in the heart, I don't think. So I think she comes back.
Nope. Came back. Who is that guy that plays Dorian Gray?
It is.
I haven't got a clue. I've never seen him in anything.
Townsend. Stuart Townsend.
Looks like one of the fucking pirates from the Pirates of the Caribbean movie.
Yeah, Johnny Depp.
No, I meant like one of the other ones.
Oh, here you go. This is where he dies.
Oh, that's some CG right there.
See, this is also why it reminds me of Indiana Jones.
Yeah, but they looked way better in Last Crusade with that guy.
Fucking hell, yeah, that looks like literally a PlayStation game, doesn't it? But like Sleepy Hollow was way before this.
Oh, that's right. Yeah,
kind of the same effect, but looks so much
God,
better.
I love Sleepy Hollow. What a great
Yeah, I
movie.
like that one as well.
Yeah.
Oh, I always felt bad for Skinner here, like how he's like burnt. And what's disturbing about this burnt thing is that's all like his dead skin that you can see. It's like, oh, that's such a horrible idea. You can see how much he's burnt.
Nice.
Yeah, I haven't seen the guy who plays Dorian Gray in anything else.
No.
Just looking him up.
Probably his 10 minutes of fame.
It's the third career that this film ended.
I recognise the guy who plays Moriarty, but I can't remember where else I've seen him in. There you go. Here's the big red Hulk.
Samuel L. Jackson.
This fucking red Hulk thing is so roided out. Like, it's insane.
They have like small legs.
Yeah, they all have small legs.
No, but it has like outrageously small legs.
Apart from him playing Lestat in Queen of the Damned, I've not seen him in anything else that I recognise.
Fucking hell,
Oh, that is like a PlayStation 2 effect.
It looks like, you know, in isn't there a Scooby Doo film where like Scrappy goes massive?
Yeah.
It looks like that.
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
Like Scrappy's a T-Rex Hulk
Scrappy-Doo
monster.
That's just the same effect. They just, copied and pasted it into this film.
I believe it.
Isn't there this bit where like Nemo goes freaking nuts on this thing and just slices him up, and it's like blood going everywhere?
This is like Iron Man versus fucking Loki or whatever in the Avengers place. The Hulk is fighting like one of those big worm things.
Again, this is like, it doesn't hold up, but it's ambitious for the time.
I think it does a fine job. I mean, for what it is.
Here he goes. Like Nemo just goes fucking nuts on this guy.
I think that effect of him flying across the room is bad.
He just perfectly lands against the wall.
Yeah, it's like they photoshopped him like flying through there.
He just stabs Hyde right in the head.
Like, yeah, he could have stabbed him in the head. And Sean Connery's stunt double's working overtime right here.
No, that's just the CGI Count Dooku from Attack of the Clones. They just
from Attack of the Clones.
Yeah, just got it in there. If you look closely, he has like a black cloak on.
What an underused fucking actor, Christopher Lee in those Star Wars prequels.
Oh,
Just kind of shows up.
He's just picked up Matthew McConaughey's axe from Reign of Fire.
From Reign of Fire.
This guy's got like one massive arm and one tiny arm. You can tell which arm he used for something. That the chemical has definitely, you know, enhanced. Yeah.
I think that's how steroids work. The other way around.
Yeah, I thought you could tell by the hairy palms.
Hairy palms.
Yeah, he's using an icicle.
You know, Dracula had hairy palms in the novel. That just reminded me. He does. I think that's where that comes from. Like,
yeah, maybe.
It must do, mustn't it? Also in that, the Gary Oldman, Bram Stoker's Dracula, he's got hairy palms in that.
Yeah, he does.
Jesus.
So I really like that movie, Bram Stoker's Dracula. It's like
I
a
love
piece
it.
of fucking art.
Oh, there goes Big Red. God, this
That's
CGI look bad.
That's another thing, Jack. That wow, that CGI head is bad.
Yeah.
That scene in Bram Stoker's Dracula where he offers that fucking the baby to like the evil witches, the witch Draculas or whatever. That freaked me out.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
creepy.
That would work really well in like a Jurassic Park scene with like the compies.
Someone offering their baby to the compies.
No, just the idea of like being helpless, innocent person that like.
Yeah, I don't want to see that thing in a Jurassic film. That scene.
I think you can get away with it in PG-13 if you do it right. You don't have to be gratuitous about it.
Oh, here we go. Moriarty's just flying with his cloak. I don't know how that works.
This is what Christopher Nolan saw. He made Batman Begins.
He didn't realize that all of the Marvel films, all of the Nolan Batmans, they all ripped off this one film because it's such a masterpiece.
Extraordinary Gentleman.
Take your time.
If you can't get him because your glasses are broke, it's not the night back.
Yeah. Now that gun does not look like a long-range rifle.
No.
It's a double-barrel shotgun.
But
It's a
come on,
shotgun.
man. Like it's nothing in this movie is even remotely
Like
realistic.
it'd fire slugs, wouldn't it? Or like
He just fires and it's like pellets come out and it goes
Yeah.
nowhere. It's like a puff of smoke. There you go, Moriarty's dead. I got him. May this new century be yours, son. Junior.
Junior.
As the old was mine. Brr.
It's got good death scenes, like in the Untouchables. You ever seen that?
Not in a while.
That's a great movie. The part where he died is so fucking stupid. And exit.
The subtitle says mumbling in native language. Mumbling.
Don't worry, this witch doctor has the cup of Christ. Come back.
Only the penitent man can pass. Penitent man can pass.
It's a man kneels. Kneel. What a motley crew at a funeral.
Yeah.
If this movie ever does, like by some crazy
Miracle,
get a sequel, I would want to see it just for the hell of it.
Me too.
CGI Sean Connery in there.
De-aged Sean Connery.
De-aged Sean Connery.
That's what I like about this film as well. Is like there's no sequel. It's like just one film, one and done.
But that means it
everything.
Set itself up for a sequel, though.
I don't know. I don't care. It's like that. It's the films like how they end like this. It's kind of like you have to use your imagination, and that's what I like. It's like, okay, we know he's alive. That's all. We know it ends on a happy note, technically.
Right next to Michael Douglas from The Ghost in the Darkness.
Oh, that was his. Was it his wife's grave? Did I make that mistake at the beginning of the film when he looks over?
I think so. He said something about that.
Okay, so maybe like, I thought he was resurrected once before, but maybe it's not. It's a crazy guy. It's Rafiki. Like, he's alive.
Jacques. It's fucking Papa Jacques.
Papa Jacques from Jaws 4. No, what was it? What's the name of the voodoo doctor?
That's
it's
it.
Papa Jacques.
Papa Jacques from Jaws the Revenge.
Well, there you go, and that's how Batman v Superman ended, didn't it?
Those effects are terrible.
Yeah, that's very bad compositing, isn't it?
Plus his makeup disappeared in that last shot. He had no makeup on.
They just needed to get the film done because the director had already fired himself and Sean Connery.
Me out of here. You know what, though? That's not a terrible movie.
That's actually quite good, actually.
There you go.
I can understand
it.
why that failed. I get it, because
I like it. Yeah, I'm glad I've
like it too.
Still got it. But you don't need to watch all 25 Marvel movies. Just watch this one. That'll do.
A niche fucking movie.
If they did do a sequel to this, I would have written The War of the Worlds Aliens comes down.
Yeah, that'd be fucking great.
Don't you understand what I mean when I say that this movie should be like analyzed, right?
Yes.
For how
it's very unique, yeah.
Yeah. You never hear anyone talk about it.
Let me have a look.
They're like,
I'm gonna look up the League of Extraordinary Gentlemen on YouTube.
Look up Rotten Tomatoes for it. What's that like? I bet it got a similar score to like Fallen Kingdom. Was the reception negative or was it like mixed?
League of Extraordinary Gentlemen. Oh, the Nostalgia Critic's done a video on it, so there you go. People probably just say it's shit.
17% on Rotten Tomatoes.
See, uncalled for. Completely, definitely underrated.
Critics' consensus, just ordinary. League of Extraordinary Gentlemen is a great premise ruined by poor execution.
And then everyone praises fucking Avengers like years later. The same
I gotta
film.
say, I disagree with that. Let's see what the critics are like. They're actually saying. Oh, the newest review is fresh from March 9th of this year. It's big, silly, and entertaining, and even its most naked franchise ambitions feel fun rather than frustrating because they're so blatant.
Yeah, that's pretty much hit the nail on the head right there.
Fuck, there's a lot of negative reviews.
Someone said, one of the negative reviews says, without a strong, juicy villain, one that we love to hate, the film lacks an important ingredient. It's like, I kind of get that. I do. But Dorian Gray was one of the villains.
This guy gave it 0 out of 4. He said, easily one of the worst films I've ever seen. Fucking hell.
They've all been brainwashed by Marvel.
Yeah, Disney
This was in 2007. This review was 07. It's not that bad. Like it's not the fucking one of the worst movies I've ever seen. God.
Okay, this is interesting. Sean Connery was 71 when he filmed that.
How old is he now? Is he like? Is he actually Alan Quatermain? Did someone go over to his grave and like, resurrect him?
Yes, he's what, 88 years old now?
Oh, okay, right. Sequel. A planned sequel was cancelled due to negative critical reception and poor box office reception. It would have been an adaptation of a second series of a comic book, which the League of Gentlemen battle the Martian tripods from H.G. Wells.
Exactly. There it is.
That's great. That's so cool.
Oh my god, what we could have had in like 2000.
Why did we never get that? That would have been so fucking awesome.
Well,
Because
in
everyone didn't
2005,
watch it.
2 years after this, we did get Spielberg's War of the Worlds.
War of the
So,
Worlds,
yeah, we
yeah.
did get the tripods in that year, but oh man, that was the actual. That's
That's
it.
crazy.
We're
That's
gonna do
crazy.
it.
Oh man.
It's just a kick in the bollocks right there, isn't it?
What else could
Damn,
you
I
put in there?
can't believe you've like convinced me that this movie's not bad.
What else could you put in there? I'd put in. Oh god, so I'd probably put in. You'd have to have Sherlock Holmes. Moriarty's dead, but you're going to have a washed up Sherlock Holmes who doesn't know what to do anymore because his adversary was killed.
Did you do like some Arthur Conan Doyle? Like, could they go to the Lost World? Like,
Well, if they're
the
battling the
plateau.
Martians from.
Battling the Martians in the Lost World.
Well, they've got Jules Verne. Can take
Yeah,
anything from that.
Jules.
They can take
Yeah.
Sherlock Holmes. What else was there?
Tarzan? Could Tarzan be a part of it?
Tarzan, yeah.
And that's
Edgar Rice
Doyle
Burroughs.
as well. Yeah.
Arthur
I mean,
Conan Doyle.
you've
No,
got
John
Dracula and
Carter.
Invisible Man. You could easily have like Frankenstein and Wolfman in there.
No, that's
maybe.
that's how you link it to the Martians from Mars. You have John Carter return from Mars to Earth, and he's there as a character who like knows what what their weaknesses are, and you link it so the Martians were one of the factions of aliens that lived on Mars. Because of a civil war that happened on Mars, they wanted to emigrate to Earth, and that's why they're coming here to wipe us out because they're just going to try and take Earth from us. And he's there like as a good guy from Mars to help the characters.
Could see that working.
Perfect character into this. Oh man, I'm so gutted about that. But hey, we got the first one, and yeah,
I can't believe it's that hated. Like 17% on Rotten Tomatoes. Holy shit, that's harsh.
well,
It's
all
really
of the reviews
harsh.
from 2003 say so bad at being bad, it's almost admirable. Someone just says stiff. That's one of their reviews. Turn the page on this one. Gentleman is not in a league of its own, but it's in a league with too many others. Really? In 2003? Like, what other movies were out there that were like this?
Remember, like, Underworld and Helsing?
Yeah, but when did Underworld come out?
Around the same time.
The first one, yeah. Van Helsing was the next
2003,
year.
yeah. No, same year. Jesus.
Told you, there was like a little era where like...
Gothic revival.
Even Daredevil, like, remember they had the fucking Evanescence song in their soundtrack?
Okay, I've just figured out why they've never referred to the guy as the Invisible Man. 20th Century Fox couldn't get the rights for the literary character of the Invisible Man, which was created by H.G. Wells. So in the movie, they just changed him to an actual name and referred to him as an Invisible Man and not the Invisible Man.
Yeah, exactly. They just changed
That's how they get
word.
away with that.
That's great.
I love this. Rebecca Murray from About.com on July 10th, 2003 put, the CGI is not visually up to 2003's standards. So really?
Oh, okay.
Wow, listen to this. July 10th, 2003, from Bill Muller of Arizona Republic wrote, this is Wild Wild West meets Avengers bad.
Huh. Avengers?
Yeah. Dropping Avengers.
They might have met the other Avengers, like the British show.
Oh, yeah, that one. Yeah, I forgot about that.
Wild Wild West. We ought to check that one out.
Someone says Connery chews the scenery, beats up everyone in sight, and tries to bully his co-stars into acting.
Oh, dude, there's going to be a reboot, apparently.
Well, the thing is, this is a 20th Century Fox film. Disney now owns this.
Ooh, John Davis told Collider in an interview that the reboot will be a female-centric film.
Oh God.
Female-centric, really?
How's
Okay.
that gonna work? Ellie Quartermain? Fucking.
It's going to be a
Oh.
Ghostbusters flop all over again, isn't it?
Wait, are they actually rebooting it, or is it been they were going to do it and then they stopped?
This is from 2015, so
Yeah, I don't think
maybe
that's
plans
coming
have
out.
changed.
I
You
think I don't
remember the
think
Jaws remake that was rumored with Tracy Morgan?
Oh, I never heard of that.
Oh, that was the thing at one point in time.
Jesus.
Yeah, see, Disney owns this now, so if they wanted to remake it, they've got
They
all
already
the rights
did.
to
It's
it.
called The Avengers.
Yeah.
You know what? It's weird. Like, I can't believe rewatching it. I don't have much bad. Like, I don't think that's a bad movie.
It's a
To
good
tell you the
action
truth.
film.
It's
It's not the
it's
greatest film ever made, but it's a good action film.
better than a lot of Connery's like last few movies he was making.
And it's better than half the. Well, I think it's better than all the Marvel films. I don't give a shit about any of them. I'll watch this.
So weird how the public eats up everything Marvel like turns out no matter what. Like Captain Marvel, fucking.
It's the jokes. It's all down to the comedy because Hulk does a dab in a cafe to some kids. They love that, but Sean Connery acting seriously.
Back when I had a Twitter, I put a poll up on are the Avengers movies more comedies or action movies, and I thought they were more comedies, but people were like swearing that they were like action, like, you know what I mean when I say
They're all
action,
about
like
the wit. Like, I'm not saying they're badly written because they're witty. They've got witty scripts. They really do, and that's what I can see why they're
over and over again.
Yeah, well, it's the same beat in the jokes. It's like the same pacing for all the jokes all the time, and it's like it gets very redundant really quickly.
The first Iron Man in 2008, where Robert Downey Jr. like cleaned up his act and came out as Tony Stark in that movie.
Great movie.
What character does that remind you of? You would never, if the first time you saw Tony Stark in Iron Man, who did that remind you of?
I think you're going to say Ian Malcolm.
Yes,
I don't see that comparison.
I do. That is Ian Malcolm, like down to the way he delivers his lines, like that quirky little like tilt of his head. And
I might have to watch that film back and then imagine it as Ian Malcolm and see if
different in the first one than he is in like the later ones.
Clayton, if you're willing to watch League of Extraordinary Gentlemen with me after you're about to leave, maybe I should do that for you. Watch that back and be like, okay, I'm going to imagine Ian Malcolm in this film.
Yeah, watch Iron Man and pretend that Tony Stark is Ian Malcolm. It's the same movie.
Ian Malcolm.
Iron Malcolm.
I'm saying like Marvel takes ideas like you can tell are from like that. Avengers is League of Extraordinary Gentlemen.
It really is.
I'm convinced.
It really is.
I'm
Just
also
aside from
convinced.
the city ending and the ending in this film are different, but yeah, it's basically
like Tony Stark in Iron Man. That's not Lost World Malcolm. That's like the first Jurassic Park Malcolm. I'm not joking. I really think that. I think that they straight up like they copied it.
You should do what I've been doing with Godzilla and Beast and just literally go through each film bit by bit with a fine-tooth comb and just put how many points against each other they fit.
You can see.
Go on, sorry.
I'm agreeing with you. Like, similarities are there. I just don't know. Like, it's kind of blowing my mind, the whole fucking Avengers thing that Jack brought up, because there's no way.
I just found an old Reddit thread that says the League of Extraordinary Gentlemen versus the movie version of Avengers. Alan Quatermain versus Nick Fury. Mina Harker versus Black Widow. Jekyll and Hyde versus Banner and Hulk. The Invisible Man versus Hawkeye. Dorian Gray versus Captain America. Captain Nemo versus Iron Man. Tom Sawyer versus Agent Coulson. But they're talking about like who would win in a fight against each other, but no one makes the connection. Those films are like the same. The plots are exactly the same. Oh, someone's made an Avengers mashup trailer. I'm not going to play this because it'll be copyrighted. But someone's made an Avengers trailer using the music, but with footage of League of Extraordinary Gentlemen.
I mean, they had to have ripped that movie off.
Someone's written in the comments, hide, smash.
Until you see my next trick. I don't like the logo for League of Extraordinary Gentlemen. It looks like WWE, like WrestleMania thing.
Yeah. Right, anyway, I'm going to stop this recording. Cheers for watching that, guys. That was a good one.
Oh, there's a review on YouTube that says, "Does this movie suck?" League of Extraordinary Gentlemen.
I'll be very surprised if they say anything other than yes. Because I'm convinced that this is one of the most underrated movies to come out of modern times.
It's fine, isn't it? It's fine.
Yes, it's good. Anyway, see ya.